as we see their names, it's like, sure.
6:32. All right, let's call this meeting to order at 6:32.
Hey,
How you
how you
doing?
doing, Mrs.?
Pretty good.
Good.
Thank you very much for guests. I love having new faces. My name is Cindy Fortner and I'm the chair. And these are all my lovely helpers. Actually, we work together. They don't help me. We work together. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve the minutes of September 12th? Hoping that somebody read the minutes of
I will
September
move
12th.
that motion.
Okay,
Make a motion.
Okay.
Second that.
okay. Bruce. Elaine, all in favor signify by saying aye,
Aye.
or raise your hand, 1, 2. All right, I'm gonna start on the agenda. The first thing we usually do is communications. I have a couple things. Does anybody else have any communications they'd like to share with the group? Missy, did you have something?
I had some people had questioned whether we had been looking at the corner of Depot Road and Fort Hill Road. There's a house there, 2-family house that I guess they attempted to plant some bushes or some trees. It's right across from the home, right across from Dairy Queen.
Yep, okay, with the chain link fence.
Yeah.
Okay,
So a little bit of,
who had attempted to plant some?
well, I'm trying to figure out who. People had asked me who planted those bushes. Were we involved in planting those trees on the other side of the fence? I said, no, it was on the other side of the fence. It was the
Oh.
owner of that.
Oh, when did this occur? I haven't noticed. It was this just,
They're all dead now. All the
Oh.
trees are dead. And anything that he attempted to plant, whoever it was,
okay,
I don't know much, except that people are asking me whether the beautification committee
Okay.
knows anything about it, or whether we can help the owner of the house, whether we should perhaps plant our own trees there. So I just am asking about
okay.
half a dozen people that asked questions about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, so I don't know anything about, if we don't have any rights to anybody's private property.
Mhm.
And between the sidewalk and the chain link fence, there's a very small area.
Mhm.
So, that is something that there's no plans right now. I know it's been discussed,
Mhm.
but, there would have to be some type of, I don't know if there's enough space between the chain link fence and then also whenever we talk about planting trees and we talk about the water situation. I don't believe the town is interested in maintaining any more trees at this time, but we'd have to have a plan. So I certainly did not. I don't think anybody here had anything to do with any planting of any trees on a private property. And I really don't know the proper
Procedure, I don't know.
procedure
yeah.
to talk to a private citizen about, that makes me uncomfortable.
Could we donate trees to a private individual if they, or anything like that? Have we ever done anything like that?
I would imagine that using funds from the town for a private individual would probably not go over too well. Hi, Nancy.
Okay, so
It's
don't have
a
an answer.
challenging situation, and I am not sure how we move forward with that. You and I probably need to have a conversation. Okay,
okay.
I'm sorry, I'm being,
No, I
Although-
just don't have an answer for these people.
Right.
And they asked me, they
Right.
think I should know,
yeah.
and I don't know anything about it either.
Yeah,
And-
when I first started the committee, I had a pretty frank discussion with Patrice Granatowski, who was the mayor at the time. And, when it comes to non-town owned properties, we don't have a lot of leverage. So, yeah. Okay,
All right.
I'm sorry. I did speak with Megan Granato, who is the brand new Sustainability and Resiliency Manager, and she was absolutely lovely and is very happy to be involved in any way that she possibly can. Hi, Rachel. So that we've established that, and she's she works here at the annex, very accommodating, very willing to meet with us or any individual, hear your concerns. Or ask, see what she can add to what we're doing. Okay. She is the Sustainability and Resiliency Manager, the position that was approved in the last council budget. So they hired this Megan Granado, and she's lovely. And very accessible, I believe. That's what I have. I also did meet actually with Bruce Flax to talk with him about if the, he is the head of the Chamber of Commerce, and to talk with him about what they might be able to do in downtown Mystic, because the Beautification Committee has been doing a lot down there. And it's very busy, and the merchants, I think, are doing very well. So he gave me some ideas, things I might be able to do, or that the committee might be able to do. And was also very delightful. And of course, it was a week or two before the big Ridge dedication of the Saturday, and therefore he was very busy, but we spent an hour talking and going over ideas, which was really nice. All right, we're going to head straight into unfinished business if nobody has any more communications. Murals. And I'm going to start by saying I did not reach out to Attorney Cody. I haven't spoken with them because I figured before I speak with him, I have to read the 15-page document and take notes, and I just didn't have it in me. I've been away, and I just got back, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it Monday, and just honestly, I didn't have it in me.
Well, might I make a suggestion?
Yes, absolutely.
I think we should talk to John Bird and get this thing resolved, because this is a holdup that is completely unwarranted. The agreements that have been put together make plenty of provision for any artist doing a mural to use it for promotional purposes, which any of us would want to do if we were an artist. And that's the only rights they have, really. It's very clearly spelled out. There's no reason to hold this thing up for a licensing agreement. I have no idea what that is, but I don't believe that we should go along with this program. I think it's time to push on this a little bit.
Well, I know that that's what Councilor Franco encouraged me to call, and thought that that might be the best way, and I agreed, and I just didn't do it. But I also felt like I needed to have some type of ask, and we've sent him what we wanted to do. I've talked with John Burt, and John said deal directly with Cody, Attorney Cody.
It's just
So
time
it's
to
like
do it
this.
differently, though.
Yeah.
We're not going to get anywhere this way,
Okay.
in my opinion. So
So I don't know if Mr. Burt has any ability to say, I mean, he's going to his
yeah.
legal guy, so I don't know if he has the ability to say, okay, yeah,
He's
let's.
wrong. He's just wrong. And we have to do something about it. Otherwise, we will be here until the cows come home. I mean, I'd like to see what the licensing agreement is. We don't know. I mean, if it's something that's simple and that we can just put together with somebody without a lot of consternation, fine. That's okay. But I don't know what it is, and I've never seen one before
Okay,
in this particular, thing that we're involved in.
okay.
So it may be nothing, it may be something, but at this moment in time, it is definitely a holdup. I'd be happy to call John and have you and I discuss it with him, or anybody else in the room.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have us go back to Cody, but,
Then we'll never get anywhere.
we might, if John bought in, maybe we would. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so not up on legal things, and they are constantly saying we need to protect the town, which is obviously correct, but it seems a little bit like overkill, but not a legal.
Well, we're in a catch-22,
Yeah,
and there's only one way out of it, really.
yeah.
Um,
Have you spoken with Kevin? Is there actually an actual?
no, I haven't spoken with him. I told him we would get back to him when we had this resolved, but
Okay,
You know,
All right, so it sounds like you and I need to have a chat, reach out to John, and should you want me to send you and John an email saying we need to resolve this and, or
that would be
I
good.
really need to call
You know,
Attorney Cody first,
What
but,
we need is we need to know what this licensing agreement is that he wants.
uh-huh,
Like I say, we just don't know. It's,
Something the attorney wants, is that what you're saying?
yes.
A
yes.
licensing agreement that the attorney
for
wants.
the,
Does he
I
draw
don't
it
know
up?
what
For
he
the
wants.
mural.
I don't know why anybody would need licensing for what we plan to do. It's on private property.
Right,
And as I said earlier, the artist has the opportunity and the desire and the want to promote his own work. That's it.
Right.
That's all he has the ability to do. The rest of it belongs on the building and we make a separate agreement with the owner
wasn't it something
of the
like if
building.
you wouldn't, I don't know, was it about like clothing or items for sale or anything like that?
I don't recall specifically.
Yeah.
You mean in the attorney's agreement or the one from the land?
No, in the attorney's agreement about like, I got the feeling that it was kind of like, say the mural's up there and that artist, that we would be able to use that,
sell t-shirts with they print on or something.
yeah. Like we would have that right, kind of.
Well, we had that written up and good. That's okay. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, we would want to promote it too,
right, exactly.
because we would want to
Right.
do more of these
Right.
things.
Okay. All right.
So
Okay,
give it a shot. I'll be happy to
okay,
put a meeting together anytime.
okay, all right. Gosh, wouldn't that be a,
And I don't mind meeting with Attorney Cody either,
uh-huh,
if we have to.
Okay.
That's okay.
okay. All right, excellent, okay. Okay, thank you. Nancy Codian, hello. Would
I'm
you
having a
like?
tailgate sale tonight. Buy daffodils, and I'm imploring all of you to take about 20 bags each to sell, so we can sell them or decide where we're going to plant them. So anyway, we made about $1,100 so far. So
Okay.
far. That's where we're at, but I've got a car full, so
Okay,
do
good,
not
I
leave
want
the
some.
parking lot tonight without
Okay.
bags.
Well, I have a more
you have a-
stuff.
Yeah.
Car.
Yeah,
Truck full.
so for anybody who's here who doesn't know, these are, I haven't seen them yet, but I hear they're quite large, very large daffodil bulbs, right? Big.
Yes, they're nice yellow King
Um,
Alfred daffodils, and it was a beautiful day, but too many things were going on, and we sold what, maybe 5 bags
Really? Is that?
in that drive-through. Yeah,
Oh,
it was
really?
very disappointing.
And I saw that there was a big, my husband even sent me a picture of the Thrive 55.
Electronic sign.
Yeah, the
it was on
electronic
the
sign
electronic
and-
sign, and the parking lot was mobbed, but that was for kids and
Yeah.
trick or treating.
What did we do last year? Do
Oh.
you recall?
We only sold 1,000, maybe that's a difference.
But we sold a
2,000.
lot of them in the drive-through.
But
Okay.
I really think that we need to, if we can sell, that's fine. What we can't, let's plant.
Yeah,
And I was just coming down 117 by the new sign. Let's go dig holes there and plant some bulbs, you know.
Yeah.
I put 60 bulbs in 15 minutes. That little planter. thing.
yes, the good tool, the
It's-
planting
yeah,
tool.
So it's not rocket science.
Okay.
If you'd like to- That's my
So-
commercial for tonight.
How much is a bag? How many in a bag?
It doesn't for $15.
So last year, if we had 1,000 and we divided by 12, that would have been 83 bags sold. So then you're saying this year we've sold about $1,100.
Worth.
We divide that by $15. That's 73 bags. So we're sort of close to what we sold last year, but it weren't during.
1,000 bulbs.
No, close to 1,000 bulbs,
No, I
close to
know.
This
1,000.
year's twice as much.
Right.
That's why we
Yeah.
have so many left over.
Yeah.
This year we've sold 73 bags, you're saying, if you made $1,100.
About, yeah.
It was pretty close to almost what we sold last year then.
Yeah.
So the
We had a total
additional,
of 167 bags this year.
Right,
so
right.
Now we gotta sell the other half.
Yep.
All right,
Okay.
I have a, like, so fewer pre-orders is what happened. Is that what you're saying? They were majority of the
No,
sales?
we had a couple of just drive-throughs, which was fine, but there were maybe 5 or 8 people who bought. And I did get a volunteer.
Okay.
I signed up a volunteer.
Okay, good. That's worth your weight in gold right there anyways.
We were talking about possibly talking with students, so we sent. I had my wife use her teacher contacts and called and contacted Fitch Middle School. Or what's the new middle school's name? So I get it right. Yeah,
Just button middle school, yeah.
So she sent an email to see if they would have students or if they have ideas that they're looking, that they might be a
Uh-huh,
good place to
uh-huh.
put the flowers.
Uh-huh.
But we haven't, again, they haven't answered back. I was waiting to have this group decide if that could be a good location.
Have you paid Bruce for his cost?
You got paid by the town, didn't you?
No.
No, we were gonna do it out of the cash
Oh.
because the town takes a
Well, there's
while.
our Profit right there.
$100.50 if you
I've
please.
got it right here.
Yeah.
Did we contact Groton Utilities? They've got all that open space there.
I haven't contacted anyone.
Would they be interested, do you think?
I don't know, because remember we went and talked with them and they were all gung ho and
And then nothing happened.
I heard that they have lots of funds for beautification and they haven't really done
And even
anything.
in pots, I can't believe, I
Yeah.
would have thought at
They
least. there
put a
was
few plants in there, but it was pretty
meager.
meager.
Any
Yeah.
ideas?
So when,
We'll take suggestions here.
so I put up a post today saying I'll take orders. So anybody that wants to reach out to me can Facebook, text, if they have a
Uh-huh.
phone number, or they,
Okay.
I put my email up and all that stuff. So I put that on there. And then, but if there are leftovers, and like I had told you,
Yep.
buy the extra, and if there are leftovers, because every year I go to the marine
Right.
sign and
Yep.
we plant daffodils, and the goal is eventually, and it might take a decade, but is to cover the whole hill with daffodils.
Yep.
So then, in the
Yeah.
spring, it'll be a beautiful
Yeah.
golden hill.
Yeah.
below.
Yeah, below that
Yeah,
sign.
and
Yeah,
it's on such a
iconic.
Steep hill
Yep.
that daffodils are basically the only thing that can go on there. 'Cause
Yeah.
They do come and eventually mow, but they don't want us to clear out that hill because for
That's,
runoff and.
yeah,
all
yeah,
that. It's-
yeah.
it's-
Let's
you've
just,
been up there, it is.
yeah,
super
yes.
steep.
It's very steep, but it was all the daffodils grew, so.
Everyone witness this, please. Thank you for those labels. We have plenty of labels if we do this again.
Okay,
Great.
awesome.
And you did get your mom's 3 bags, right?
She texted me, I wasn't on.
Okay.
How long can the bulbs stay out of the ground? They have to go in this fall? I mean, do they
Not
last
sure.
until, like, you wait, try to plant them in spring, they would not make?
No, they definitely should go in now. Yeah.
So it's gotta be quick.
Otherwise,
Well,
it has to
it-
stay in a cool, dark place until next year.
Yeah, until next fall. They don't,
Overwinter them.
You don't want to do
They
that.
would-
You want to just get them in before the first good freeze.
yeah.
Should we pick a day to plant at the sign?
Over on 117 or which
No, it's
sign?
the submarine. Should we plan a day to plant?
I don't know. I'm usually the one that goes up there and I have planned.
Grab another counselor or,
Literally, you can plant 350 bulbs in 15 minutes. I'm not kidding you. With 2 people, no, I just take a shovel, I flip the ground up a little bit and somebody's behind me with the bulbs, putting like 4 or 5 in the shovel part and then just flips the ground back over. And that's it.
Yeah.
It's
this is not
literally-
master gardener
it's
planting.
It's not an event.
Yeah,
It's literally like, I usually just call one person and say, you want to go with me today? And I usually try and pick somebody in the community and they're usually saying yes, because it's cool to go up there.
yep. Yeah, because you get to go on the special road and,
Who gets to go up to the submarine capital sign? I mean, that's pretty cool to get up there. And so somebody always says, yes, and we go up there and I just get it done. And that's usually.
Yeah.
And just to let you know, I did make a recommendation because when you're driving on the highway, the trees are coming in and you
Mhm.
can't see the sign, and DOT has gotten permission now from the state to start cutting back some trees so you can see the sign
They were
better.
up there today. Somebody was, I don't know what they were doing, but they were going orange up there. So,
I was complaining about the trees, you can't see the sign from the highway anymore really until you get right on it.
yeah, that's no good. Yeah. I love trees, but okay. Well, excellent. Well, I'm glad. All right, so,
So if we don't sell, we got a place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's leftovers every year. We could always go
It-
there, but we want to sell this goal. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm putting up a post. so.
Yeah, excellent. Well, and I also want people to be aware, like if I take however many bags, I'm going to say I took this many bags and then I want to be responsible for, like, I'm going to give a bag to Sift for donating the bags. And we want to do 2 bags at the John Kelly statue in downtown Mystic. And so I want to keep track of how many I'm selling to my neighbors and friends and how many are donated to sites around the area, just so we can kind of have a good idea,
I
kind
think
of a
that's a
good,
good plan for everybody.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
whatever you do with the bags that you take tonight, keep track of it.
yeah, so we
Any
can.
more posters or anything? Any more flyers?
No, but you,
It
Rachel,
was-
you had the flyer online, right?
Yeah.
To print out. So you want
There was
to?
last month's meeting, I think that was attached.
Yes,
An
exactly.
email.
Yeah,
What's in it?
put in the bulbs, remove the mugwort. How about? Yes, okay, that would,
I'll forward
So-
the email to the group.
We could also put some at the top of Wood 1 and 215, right there on that.
right. Although remember, we were digging up bulbs, you know, there are some.
Tiny ones there.
Yeah, we could put, and it's always good, remember, when you're planting this, to put at least 3 together. It's not just like boop, boop, boop,
Right.
you know,
Like a bouquet,
yeah, like a bouquet.
5 to 7.
5 to 7, don't even go 3. All right, okay.
And I do want to thank Sharon. Sharon showed up to help bag these for me, which was great.
That's fun.
I love bagging those things. I'm really sorry I missed it. So, let me see. All right, so let everybody keep a record, so at least we will know how many we planted, because we can even use that, you know, hey, look at the beautification
I
committee
keep track
planted.
of it every year.
Okay.
and So I keep a tally. So when I put it up on Facebook, I say, we planted this many today, because usually they've been donated. And this now makes this many planted up. at the
Yeah,
time. So
Okay, excellent, good.
Maybe we'll get to like. another day.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
1 million, wow, awesome,
Whole hill.
awesome,
That was it.
yeah.
No.
All right, for those of us those people who haven't been here before, we're gonna talk about nips. The nips are the little nips bottles that are sold at liquor stores. And through legislation, now you pay an extra nickel, that nickel goes to the state then dispenses it to the different areas that sold the bottles. So our town of Groton got over $32,000, and Councilor Franco got half of it donated to the Beautification Committee to use on projects very specific to litter reduction and other kind of conservation things that could be done. So the committee has $16,000 to use. The thing that we had talked about, 2 things. One was this wonderful sculpture that would be a sculpture that it's a fish sculpture. So it would be attractive, and it would also be a waste receptacle for plastic or recycling or trash. We haven't gotten to the exact details, and there would be a couple of them around town. And to hopefully bring it to try to keep plastic out of our waterways, because we are so close to Long Island Sound. So Joe Dela Cruz, most of you probably know him. He's a lovely man who is our outgoing, not senator, Congress, state rep. And he is the vice president of the Hillary Company right here in Groton, and he is working on a prototype. And he says, I'm not an artist. So he had sketched a couple of, we call him Tommy Tautog, which I guess is the native blackfish. So that was Joe's clever idea. And anyways, I have a couple very rudimentary sketches, because like Joe said, I'm not an artist, but if anybody wants to see them, I haven't heard from him yet about the possible price. And
He answered the email back that you sent to all 3 of us. He was on a cruise. I'll remind him I said, I'm available any day after 2.
Uh-huh.
He said, sounds good, but he asked, I'll get in contact with him.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. That's awesome. Jim is also an engineer and he would volunteered to work with Joe on this. And so that would be excellent. That would be really excellent. So that was the one idea is, which we're working on. There's luckily no time frame for this money. It's like, okay, you just have to use it in a certain way, but it's not like you need to use it within 6 months or 8 months or something like that. So
We
we,
haven't talked to them in the meantime since the last meeting?
me,
No, anybody?
No, he
No,
was
we-
going on a cruise, just getting back like
I,
last week
yeah.
and he hasn't.
I let him know we
Yeah.
wanted to know about the price and I let him know that Jim was interested in working with him. So now they're connected. And I was away, I guess Joe was away also. So no, I haven't, I've been
I'll
emailing,
help
but I
too,
haven't.
Jim, as far as the design and so forth,
Okay.
colors or whatever, you know. But can we do something else besides this? I mean,
I hope so.
we need
Yeah.
to get some PR
Get
going
some
for,
media attention.
yeah,
to
I mean, I
this.
think
Yeah.
that's should be part of our focus, pay for some media if necessary, but
Pay for media for
I
what?
mean, we don't know what this is. We need to know what the numbers are gonna be for this particular project.
Yeah.
But once we know that number, I think it's important that we let the community know that we're doing this and it's a focus that we want to have everybody get involved with so that we can stop some of this litter. A lot of it is from tourists. But I mean, if we have enough of a campaign going and we have it out in literature or on the radio or, you know, signage,
A blitz of media
yeah,
in order to
Yeah.
make it,
we
create a
probably make a
campaign.
real dent.
Right.
in what's
No,
going on.
exactly. And you can use funds for that too.
Yeah.
And but we have to have, and I think you're right. That's excellent. But we're still in the preliminary stages. The other thing, we still are gonna have to vote on this as a committee, you know, once we have something. It's not just like, oh, we're going to do this. I think we probably still have to vote the funds.
Well, we could work on this in the meantime, though, the media aspect of it.
So how do you work on that? That's my question. How do you work on something that you don't know what the
Well, I think it's just,
product
it's
is.
kind of like a campaign where, I mean, it could be nip the nips in the bud, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
Create a logo, a campaign phrase so that it catches people's attention that we are focusing on this plastic that is being thrown all over the place. We can have pictures of it, we can have, and just, again, bringing an awareness to people. And then, I mean, I don't know where they're being thrown mainly.
I do. I
But
see them off of the.
maybe that's where we have to-
Workers from Fisher's Island all the time. They throw them right out the window. Marsh Road is loaded with them. So that's, that's another, you can tell certain ones when I walk, I can pick 20 up a week.
Where,
On
Sharon?
Marsh Road in Noank,
Oh, okay.
from where the guys get off the shuttles from
Right.
Fisher's Island.
Really?
They're all
Yeah,
constant.
they're up and down Allen Street, up from
215.
Allen Street down to Mystic. You know, I think people that you don't want to have alcohol in your,
Right.
in your,
The other
right,
one is
so-
215 South Elm Street. There's loads of them. That center island there that goes
Yeah.
to Groton Long Point Road. You can go there, there'd be 30 or 40 of them.
Are you talking about nips or are you talking about plastic?
It's-
Oh, the nips are there. They're on High Street too. I do the cleaning on High Street with a group. of
yeah,
people.
yes, yep, High Street's bad
Tons
too.
and tons
Yeah.
of-
So is there a law that says they have to toss it out of the car, that it can't be open in the car? Or,
Probably when you're driving, probably.
no, but I
That's
mean,
what they do.
You can't have an open container. I don't know much about it, but I mean, I know you can't have an open container of like beer or wine or something. I'm assuming that you wouldn't, I don't know. Nips are not my thing, so I'm not exactly
I
sure.
mean, if you could possibly get some kind of a disposable, something that they can dispose of it in their car, like the old
Yeah.
litter bags.
They want them out of the car.
Yeah, they want them out of the car.
We don't want any
Talking on
evidence.
Saturday that it might be good to do some sort of bag thing, like drop off at Grand Package or the different package stores. But also, we need to look at this as far as state legislature of making empty nip bottles in the car not a crime. Because if they could put them in trash cans, and that's why I said, when we talked to Joe, just gonna bring it up because I don't have time to read through all the legalness
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the laws, but
yeah.
if we could work with the package stores, a campaign.
Well, if we could make up some posters, let's say,
Yeah.
just as an example. You know, I do graphic design, Rachel does it. I mean, it wouldn't be hard. Put them in all our package stores. I mean, I'm sure that Grand Spirit or any of these folks would be
Spencer
happy to
Lane now,
go
yeah.
along with the program. And, you know, we could spend a little money on that. That's something we could get started with right away.
Yep. Okay.
We don't have to get a
Um,
media
At
consultant
the
or anything like that
marinas,
for that.
another- Marinas are really big
Okay.
too.
Mm.
Marinas,
Yeah.
the marinas, the local marinas.
idea.
Counselor Franco?
So what happened was, the first 33,000 was for 6 months worth of net sale. So you got half of that, and you're gonna get half of the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm,
So probably grand total, you're gonna have over $33,000
mm-hmm.
Which is a sad statement to say for Groton, isn't it?
for NIP. I get it. So I said, can we give half to the beautification committee for this first year? And I did a presentation to the council, and what I said was the fish, like it's a sculpture, it's a statement, it's an awareness campaign. And
Right.
like I said, you can use the fish, like the logo type of thing of the fish.
Because you drink like a fish.
All kinds of things you can do with that fish. And you can make, you know, flyers, and you can put them all over the place, and you could make a thing about it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
People that are very creative,
Yes.
write and come up with all kinds of fun things
Yep.
about it. But it's an awareness campaign. It's a sculpture, so it's artwork as well.
Yep.
And there's so many.
Yes.
things to it.
Yep,
But the other
many
half of
aspects.
That also is the Adopt a Road program.
Right.
Those were the two things that I brought to the council,
Right.
and that they said yes to give you the money.
Right.
So those are the two things that basically the council sort of expecting out of you. So I will deal with it and help with the Adopt a Road program, because I know nobody wants to take that part on right now,
Mm-hmm.
or they haven't come forward to say so. But I'll help.
Well, who do you see participating in that? I'm just, because I gladly
The
go to it.
funding would be buying like the sticks that, the
Yeah.
grabbers, garbage bags, vests, all those type of things, maybe even a bag, and putting all these things together. And then you would go out to businesses and say, hey, would you adopt a road? And then we would also make metal signs that you see in other communities that say, and I think we need to come up with something splashy, something fun, like, you know, something about picking up litter, or some kind of little slogan.
Yep.
Would adopt a road program, whatever about the litter thing, and whatever businesses is adopting this mile,
So
or
it's-
whatever it is.
And,
So a business,
but it
will-
can be neighborhoods as well.
it could be neighborhoods and all that stuff, and yeah. So we're gonna have businesses, organizations, groups, we're gonna go to them and say, would you adopt a road? And would you commit to cleaning it up maybe 4 times a year? I don't know how many times, we'll come up with a number, you guys can vote on it, you guys decide. Whatever you wanna put in it, but I'll get the paperwork written up. And then you guys can have a discussion about what you want in that. And then ask the business organization, and if they commit to 4 times a year, maybe,
And clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
for so many years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe it's for 4 years that you're buying the sign and you put their
Yeah.
name on it, you want them to
Yeah.
last years, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes.
You're gonna buy all this stuff, so it's a welcome thing saying, thank you for doing. Here's all the tools and the supplies that you're gonna need to clean up these roads. You know what I mean? Like here, Johnson's Hardware, here's your package. Thank you, you know?
So you will need to work with the state too then, because.
So the state has an Adopt a Road program, but from what I'm hearing, it is extremely difficult and it's not easy to deal with. So what we should try and do is find city town roads and implement it that way.
Yeah.
Do neighborhoods, do all kinds of other places. And I know some of the main roads are some of the worst. Then again, we have cleanup days, and that's usually where we hit the main roads. You know what I mean? Like we hit 117 and Route 1 on Earth Day.
I can't imagine the state is gonna come after us for cleaning up
They
their
would
roads.
never,
Well,
I
safe.
know they wouldn't, but I'm
No,
not
but-
gonna put a sign on a state road saying that somebody adopted the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The liability, like the places that, you know, a number of people have mentioned is like on ramps and stuff and off ramps. I mean, that is
Yeah.
not a safe place. Yeah, they don't want regular volunteers
They
there.
don't mind 117 or
Mhm.
would want.
No, I wouldn't say that. I have not heard that they,
Okay.
I have heard that they would mind. I mean, I don't know, I don't,
We have put it on our map
Yeah.
on Earth
Yes.
Day, and people have gone down there and done
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've done it
I've done
a
that.
couple of times, yeah.
I've done 117.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
We got bags and bags of the
So
stuff
we
on
can,
Route
we
1.
have the money, we should start ordering materials and creating these welcome packages.
Yeah.
I think the idea of some type of logo or something,
We need a
could
logo.
you
We-
put like something together with some type of blackfish?
Yeah, sure.
And we
Something,
need a beautification logo, because if we're gonna have a metal sign up there, you need something that,
Yes.
like, they're like, oh, that's the beautification logo, that it has to be recognizable.
There's a state group, they're based out of the old Gales Ferry School that gives out the vests. And they organize a lot of the local stuff. I haven't been able to get hold of the person there in the office yet. So I'll talk to you afterwards.
But we're
No,
using the
correct.
funds to buy them here, we're not gonna go to somebody else and ask to come slime for old town.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
if they're doing it to make sure they aren't turning people on also to do what we're planning on doing.
Gales Ferry is like.
No. Yeah, well, this is Gale Ferry Ledger, but it's for the whole district. It's Ohio, southeast Connecticut.
Yeah, but, okay, we can talk.
alrighty then, awesome. Let's go on to under new business, new beautification ideas. Anybody who wasn't here last month, we had talked about going forward, what are we gonna work on? And I asked that everybody bring an idea to something that they might be interested in working on or beautification working on for 2023, other than all the nips and the murals. Because we've done a lot of gardens and things like that, but those are gonna need to be maintained, but it's not gonna take the same effort as planting a brand new planting at Par 4 or putting in the gardens at the annex here, so those are gonna need to be maintained. But what other things do we want to do? So does anybody have a new beautification idea that they would like me to write down?
Can I butt in first because we have a person that we picked up, invited on Saturday with a good idea for town property.
Lori? Yes. So you get to be put right on the spot, Lori.
She had a 7:30 meeting. tonight,
Okay,
so-
all right, so let's
Well,
do
I
it.
think By default, was my daughter's still at work, but I am also the homeowner that lives right
Yeah.
next door to this, so I do have some history. of the
Okay.
Area that we're talking about.
And your daughter is Erica.
My daughter is Erica.
Okay.
When you go to the Calvin Burrows ball field and you go into that first parking area where the building is for the concession stand, and you look to your.
Okay, why don't you explain exactly where that is? Yeah, because a lot of us don't have,
Calvin Burrows Little League Field on South Road. Before
Before
you go under the railroad
you
tracks.
go under the,
Yeah.
Before you
yes.
go into the river
Yeah.
tracks. And when you go into the parking lot, and to the very first area where the handicap parking is, and you look up to your left, you have an embankment that is just covered with weeds, and it has been for a long time. I've lived there for 40 years, so I know kind of what I'm talking about.
Yep. okay,
For a long time, they would trim it down and keep it mowed, the town. But when they would do that, the children during the fall season would go up and slide down the hill, and it would erode the dirt, which also eroded under the road, and you would have
yikes,
divots in your pavement because the dirt was
Oh, no.
coming out from under the road.
okay,
And several times I've called the town and say, we actually have had cars get their front tires stuck in there because of the erosion of the dirt. So after that, I asked again, don't mow it, let's keep the kids out of it. And of course, now it is an eyesore,
Mhm.
but the kids don't run down the hill
Yeah,
anymore.
right.
and get, sprinklers or whatever. So what the Little League would like to suggest in this particular area, and it's a way open up for discussion, but we would like to propose a memorial garden with a retaining wall of some sort, whether it be a metal or brick or whatever, to keep the dirt in place, but also maybe terraced. Or we would like to be able to have as a memorial garden for the people who have passed. Children who have passed and have played ball there, maybe as an adult. Come to the, championships that the kids know. We'd also like to honor some of the people, like Ted Hessler. We know he's not dead yet, but he's getting. I mean, his wife just passed. So,
Okay.
But to someone like that who spent 50 years involved with Little League, we'd like to honor him.
Okay.
And others like that. And so try to make a little area that would have either the bricks or some kind of plaque or whatever in that same area. We were open to maybe it being a rain garden type thing so that it would be you won't have to do a lot of maintenance on it. But if it's terraced, even just 2 terraces with the retaining wall, then you won't have the erosion up on the top and the kids won't climb it.
Whose property is in
It's
that?
town.
That's a town. It's all town property. This is just the left side. If you were going out,
I have pictures.
if you're going out the ball field from the riverside, you look to your left, you're looking down. That's all town property. You also have a, what's the word I'm looking for? The post with the wires. Guardrail?
Yeah.
Guardrail, thank
It's a
you.
wire guardrail.
It's decrepit, it's old, it's broken, because they would sit on it as well, but it is also not completely, at the very end towards your stop sign towards South Road, it's not even in the ground. So it's not safe either for cars or anybody on that, so that should be, and I don't know who would take care of that, if that be you guys, or that would be town.
Public Works
Public
takes
Works.
care of all that, and
Needs to
the
be-
highway department, yeah.
Project, actually.
Yeah, and we've had a stop sign there off and on, depending on how many times you get run over.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
there's no stop sign on there. But that's kind of what we would like to propose to you to consider, that it would be something, again. Okay. On there, it goes to the corner of South Road on that wall, all the way down to where we have a walkway that comes behind the pictures.
So it's.
Now,
That's a big
I'm thinking picture catcher. back
Yeah,
there.
I've looked at, you told me about it, so I've looked.
Something that, again, it's all town and for safety.
So
purposes.
it sounds like you have an organization as well.
Oh, me and my dog.
That's Jim, you got your,
It's a large area.
yeah,
Plus, that's only one. I took a drive around. Again, there's the town boat ramp there. And there's a parking area. There's
there's a town boat ramp near the Little League field?
Oh, it's in
at the
that.
back towards the inlet
Would you
there.
go in the same, I'm sorry, I don't, you go in the same parking lot to
You
get?
Yeah,
enter
yeah.
Off of South Road, right down
Okay.
on the railroad, on the railroad tracks.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say the name wrong. There's a
You
Ronnie.
can see back in the back.
Yeah, there's a boat launch, is in the back there. In the very back.
Which there's a lot, again, this could be a 20-year project and I think never
It's
finished.
a big
But
project,
yeah, and so it's just,
way beyond our.
no,
ability.
Well, but
no, but
So I'd like to
chip,
jump
chip,
in on
chip
this.
away a
So
little at a
Public
time.
Works has been there, like Parks and Recs
Okay.
have been there, maintenance. And so I think maybe even Public Works maintenance has been there. I'm not sure which one showed up. But they've talked to them about potentially putting in the tiers to try and take care of this. And then maybe come to you to help with the maintenance of like the plantings and all this
Or
other stuff.
to make the suggestions for the plantings.
Right.
We're not
Oh, that's
gardeners.
different, yeah.
In any
Okay.
shape, we can give you the manpower to help put it together. We have that, no problem.
What they could potentially, because I was even saying, even if you took like, and I was just throwing it out there, even if you took boulders and put them in and put layers just to keep it tiered, it's less expensive. But I think Parks and Rec was like, I don't like the boulder idea. So Parks and Rec may be coming up with some kind of something in their own mind, because they
Mhm.
did talk to the Little League about that,
Uh-huh.
about what to do with.
Well, because Parks and Recs and Public Works, I guess in their budget have some things that we have, because the field is so old, to bring it up more to today's standards.
So they do have money in their budget.
Yes. Yeah.
For that specific field?
Yes.
Oh,
For the site in general, which
Yes.
is mostly the field, but should include the surrounding area.
Correct. Correct.
And this also goes in line with like the field task force, where we're talking about how you look at other communities and then you look at ours and you're like, geez.
And actually, if you kind of saying that with the tongue in cheek, that particular field
uh-huh.
is the most sought after field in surrounding towns to play on. It is the most highly maintained, because we have the lights there, we can have games longer in the season.
Oh, this
And
is a
we have
lighted
tournaments,
field.
and so it's an opportunity for them to increase their budget through concession sales.
Uh-huh.
And we have been asked by other outside the state lately,
Uh-huh.
if they could have more tournaments in our area
Okay,
because of that field.
okay,
All the
so,
more reason to create this
Anna-
Yes, yes.
so,
The parking is the only thing that stinks,
yeah,
because it's so limited, but you know.
is that, asphalted there? Like, can they stripe it to help, because some, or is it's not crushed stone or
No,
anything where you
no,
park? Okay,
that's all.
but you guys don't have any private funds?
Little League?
Yeah.
Our funds are for the kids.
Right, no, I thought you guys might have had something.
So Little League runs their organization there.
Uh-huh,
The town actually owns the field and everything else. Like
Yep.
Mystic owns their field
Yep.
and they do all their stuff and they're
Okay.
responsible for theirs.
okay,
The town has to do that. Groton and Little League cannot, like, they can't even get up on a ladder. They're not allowed to.
Yep.
Like, there's
Yep.
things that they cannot do
Yep.
there because the
Okay.
town is responsible for
Yeah.
it.
okay,
So there's like, it's different there than it would be like Mystic.
okay,
So
all right.
the town is responsible for them.
So where do you see us, where does it start? Just tell me where this would start with going to rec to,
Groton League has gone to Parks and Rec and talked to them about, well, Parks and Rec came in because they're looking to redo the snack shack because ADA compliance with the restrooms and other issues with that building.
Is that this year, next year,
This winter's supposed to be-
2025?
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I was told some of it would be this winter, but not all of it.
There's gonna be a capital improvement project probably for the restrooms because they're not ADA compliant. The Hill, I don't know, but I know Parks and Rec they have had conversations. And the guy who is in charge of maintaining that field, who loves that field. That's why that field looks so beautiful, is because the employee loves that field. So he gets what's going on with his hill and he wants, Parks and Rec to help, but I don't know where it stands with them after that
Okay.
right now.
All right. Jennifer, did you have something to say?
I wanted to ask about your idea of trying to incorporate some kind of memories of people who've dedicated time and their lives to Little League. And I didn't know, as a group, culturally, have you ever heard of butterflies representing people who've returned, or anybody? Have you heard those sorts of
I've
things?
heard of it,
Sure.
but we call it angels in the outfield, or just because.
So
of
what
the-
I would say is milkweed plants thrive anywhere, and they're zero maintenance, and we need them in the community, and it would, a pollinator butterfly garden on that hillside.
We're
which-
definitely open to suggestions. As far as the planting itself is concerned, no.
We could
Die
make
hard thing.
a statement of milkweed, that all the other people who come to visit say, well, here's your milkweed hill, and wow, look what Groton's doing to promote the sustainability of monarch butterflies that are endangered.
And milkweed's also very low maintenance, which is nice. Everything that often things come down to, Lori, maintenance. So like we might get something in. Recently we were working at the police department and the mugwort there was over my head. It was probably 7 feet tall. I mean, I've never seen weeds like this. And we pulled stuff out and there was, you know, dead rose bushes and some Rose of Sharon. So things can get planted, but then who's going to maintain it? So that's exactly what Mark Berry is going to ask me.
And that's what topic you're talking about right now is where are all these locations and then who's gonna own them? And who
Yeah.
wants to take responsibility? for
Right.
them?
Right.
So again, is this something that the Little League participated? You said you
Oh,
have a group
yes,
of
yeah.
adults who are active, who want to see this, the fellow who does the yard work and everything. I mean,
Like every spring, we have a big day where everyone comes down and tries to bring a life back to that, and that's when we were so instructed where you couldn't go on ladders.
Okay, so
it sounds like that's really an important factor. It's
Right,
in
right.
backing up what you want,
Yep.
that you will, you know, have, there is a group that's going to maintain it. If we
Well,
can get
I'm one of the older ones on this group. So as long as I'm alive, I will say, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But we'll have to get the younger group to come in.
You can't be an angel in the outfield, I'm sorry.
The Groton Little League could take the ownership of it. It can
I'm
help
sure
them
they
get it
will.
Up and going.
Okay. Okay.
Now.
Okay,
Because we don't know what, again, what we can or cannot touch.
right, okay, all right.
That's the biggest thing. What are we allowed to do?
You want to
Seems
write
to
it on
be
the
an issue.
whiteboard? Everywhere. Do a list on the whiteboard and then we can all take a picture of it. Okay?
List of what?
What you're talking about, all the areas in Groton we were supposed to come with.
Oh, yeah, sure. I don't know what else we have. But-
I
Okay,
would
wait.
like to
Okay, so we're all set. So I've got this all down. I've got your contact information, Lori. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And please let Erica know that actually Rachel had brought this to my attention previously. You got coming to the meeting is lovely. If it looks like you guys could do some good maintenance, and that's the kind of project that we can support, especially if we were working with Public Works, Beautification, and Parks and Rec. We might be able to pull it all together, but then the maintenance is often the hardest part. So let Erica know that's one of the things that the Beautification Committee and Parks and Rec are always going to be concerned about, is maintaining any type of garden or planting once it's planted. And most of the things, if you plant them in the ground, you're going to have to water them that first year, and then after that they'll naturalize and shouldn't need water unless we have one of those horrible summers that we had
Yeah,
this
I don't
summer.
know, again, there was irrigation.
Yeah.
It cannot be done on that side. of
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
whatever.
Yep. Well, really,
'Cause I can tell you right now, that lawn, that yard
Uh-huh.
field is watered in the rain, so.
it's probably on a, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a way to put some water up there. I'm sure they put some piping.
And that,
Yeah.
will come on.
Well,
Well,
thank
I
you
can
so
tell- I
much
can
for coming.
connect This much to you and tell you for certainty that one of the things that Groton Little League this year has been very forward in trying to be involved in the community more than just baseball.
Mhm.
And we have reached out to the Community Speaks.
Can you speak out?
They
She
have
speaks out.
been-
Mhm.
We've done 2 events with them. We were at the Thrive 55 the other night as our representative with our Scarecrow and our.
Uh-huh.
Little League. We
Awesome.
actually won an award.
Oh,
We got
excellent.
our-
Congratulations.
accept that.
Mhm.
We have other areas, and we can be some of your manpower
Mhm.
in places like, we have, hundreds of parents
Mhm.
who want to have their children at different ages, appropriate, of course,
Uh-huh. Right.
for a project that want to participate. And they're looking to us for that. And so one of the goals that Erica and I have taken on this year is to reach out.
Mhm.
We want it to be an amalgamation of people working together. And
Excellent.
so that's one of the
Excellent.
reasons he's here tonight with me.
Uh-huh.
To see how it works and see what his grandmother and his mother get
Yeah.
involved in.
That's great. Yeah.
Whether or not he's on the phone or not, he's still listening,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
here with me. So
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting because until somebody comes and takes the time to ask and be involved in something, it is hard to get things done. So I really appreciate you coming out and
Good
proposing
connection.
that.
This is a wonderful connection.
Yeah, yeah.
We've taught them young that if you don't ask the questions, it's always no.
Yeah, right, right, exactly,
So we're gonna
exactly.
leave now, so I
Okay.
can feed him.
All right, all right. It was so good to meet you, Lori, and thank you so much for coming.
You have any questions?
I got your contacts.
Yeah, and you all know where I live.
That's right. Exactly.
Picture of that.
Thank you so much. Awesome, awesome.
And my mother,
Okay.
my other idea, my idea is just work on the gazebo without the roof and the Riverwalk area.
Okay.
That people keep asking, you know, what is that down there? What is it?
I heard, I think 2 years ago, they were gonna re-roof that, and I don't know what the, it's.
Quonic River Walk.
Yeah, right next to the bridge.
And again, I think it's gonna involve the neighbors to back up to it. It's a kind of a big project.
What's the big project? The
Cleaning.
cleaning up,
you know,
cleaning
like-
up the Riverwalk.
The
Okay.
hillside, you've got neighbors
Yeah.
throwing garbage out their
Yeah.
back doors onto the hillside.
Yeah, that's a adopt a road kind of.
That's an adopted right,
That's an
walkway.
adopt a walkway, that's for sure. I've been complaining about that one for years.
Yeah.
In that one, since we have, the barn has already made donations, that's in their
Maybe they would-
backyard.
Yeah.
And so
Maybe they would take
it might be involved if using them to even get like people with John boats, which is what it's going to take. We did a walk with Bernadette along the walkway. It's
Right.
like, this is a beautiful gift the town has
Right,
that nobody knows about. But then you start looking down and saying, you can't really tell a kid to go down there and pull something out because at high
Yeah.
tide,
Yeah.
it's in the water.
yeah.
You wanna like beautify that area.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, both
Be a
sides.
focal point. of
It
our
should be
town.
a key place for us, absolutely. It's a gorgeous spot. You
Isn't
know,
Parks and
it's just begging for something to happen.
They replaced some boards, but also what's the pump track? Is that on the other
That's gonna
side?
go to
of-
the end.
Yeah, at the other end, but
Yeah, by
still.
the train tracks, yeah.
that
Need
was-
some garbage cans
Yeah.
on there too. You can't be.
But that's the thing, we figure out all these areas.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then we gotta find ownership of them. Like I'm doing Indian Field Road. I have those 2 islands. I take ownership. I was down there last weekend planting things. I'm waiting for the neighbors bought flagpole. And I think Tammy Dela Cruz or Joe are getting them up to Public Works to get them put in. Taking them a long time to get there, but those are going in. So the project's almost done.
Yeah.
And I did some weeding and we put more plants in and so we're like, I'm almost there to the point where like next year, these might be like really gorgeous. And I
right.
have a neighbor who's coming and weeding them all the time. But then I stop on my way to town council meetings and I water them because the neighbor let me use their water spigot. And I bring
Yeah.
my little water can with me and water and then go to my town council meeting.
Yeah, yeah.
So like we're working, like that's the ownership part where I'm taking ownership of Indian Field, those 2 circles. And then I call people and I'm like, hey, I'm going down there to plant these. You want to come help me? And I just find my own helpers because they're like, sure, I'll come help you.
Yeah.
And you just find your workers. And if you can't do it, we reached out to Community Speaks Out and they also have people that need community hours.
Yeah.
And they do plantings and weeding and all this.
A lot of weeding, yeah, a lot of work.
They'll do a
heavy
lot of the
work.
the heavy work, like the weeding, like out of, like to make it, especially the initial. 'cause
Yes,
that's
exactly,
tough.
the initial,
Really tough.
yeah, yeah,
You know, or they'll come back in midsummer when the weeds are really starting to take over and you haven't been there because
Yeah.
summer's busy.
Yeah.
And they get in there and they'll do it. So
What's with the, I'll call the pump track area? It's in, do we have, is that an active group that's, they said they're raising money? Is that?
the bike
Like
people are,
So,
yeah.
so the bike people, so we might be able to get them to, again, there's a lot of things. There's a beautiful playground on that side of the park,
Mhm.
that end of
Yeah.
it. But it's like, I stopped some parents that were parents and kids playing there and they said there's just one area, there's a hill that goes down towards the railroad underpass. That they said it might be good to, if we could just plant, their suggestion was just tall grasses, so parents know that, and the kids would, if you did a small
going at-
planting there,
Track that.
but it'd be terrible to start planting there and then I
You-
think we just need to
so-
contact, but because you have a playground, I just need to see.
But you're talking like we should plant some stuff, something.
No,
Well,
no,
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 we
plant
need-
some stuff, but at the same time, if there's a plan already, if there's a person at Park and Rec that I can go stop and sit.
Well, the thing is, Parks and Rec is not gonna do plantings and maintenance of plantings.
Okay,
They-
no,
they-
no, but
they-
I want to keep it out of the area that they have envisioned.
Yeah, I don't
So-
know yet. I don't know,
Yeah.
because they give you a rendering, but it's not the exact.
Yeah.
Okay,
But have you met Mark
Yeah.
Berry?
So,
Yeah.
Mark is the director. He's has a lot of information. And every time I've asked him for a question, he'll point me exactly in the direction. So, and the other day, he actually asked me for recommendations on grasses for a certain sign. So I was like, isn't that interesting? That's wonderful. So they are starting to be a little more responsive to not just the needs of recreation, but the needs of beautification while you're in the recreational area.
yeah,
So
I just don't want to overstep my boundaries right now, so.
Two ends.
We need to find out.
oh, no,
what
because you
they're
could do it as a citizen. You can be like, hey, I'm really interested in this. And I talk with, yeah.
You know, the other thing is the Parks and Recs, they have meetings just like this, and they give a wealth of information on the Zoom meetings that you can go out and see, because they're talking about all of that kind of stuff. Like that's what they were talking about, doing stuff with the gazebo and, all the trails and everything. It's worth a while to watch some of those things, because they really do talk about what their plans are with
Yeah.
ARPA funds and,
Yeah.
everything that
Yeah.
they're getting, so.
Okay.
I just wanted to mention trees. I mean, I'm always promoting more trees in town, but I wish we could get some planted.
Well, it needs to be a little more specific than that. It has to be, like you
Fort Hill
told
Road,
me,
know,
you
we could-
told me specifically, could we get some more trees behind the trees that we planted at the sign? That's a very specific thing. More trees on Fort Hill Road isn't even, for me, specific enough. We need a specific area that we can focus on. Is there enough space between the sidewalk and somebody's property? Some places there's a tremendous amount of space. Other places it's very small. The town knows exactly where the boundary is, how far. And some of those fences are, inside of the homeowner's property, and some of them are outside of the homeowner's property. So I think,
There's been lots of petitions on that and everything. I think that should kind of go to the head of the list,
but that's a
been years
huge
and
project.
years.
We need a chunk. Like,
Okay,
what are
but
we
just
gonna do?
one-
And then
one strip.
what was the thing that there was a meeting and they had talked about doing a
Yes,
huge
maybe-
project.
Maybe Rachel can talk more about it, but they're trying to get funds.
The planning
Rachel,
and
what was
zoning.
the name of that? They're trying to get.
Oh, yeah,
Economic
the
development,
state one, it's like,
big bucks.
Like
And they,
like
one of the
11
things they were
million.
talking about is the beautification, Missy, along Route 1 corridor
Like
in
the whole,
Quantic
the exact
Bridge
where you're talking
and on
about.
117. So, I mean, I don't know when they're expecting to hear if they're going to get that or not, right? They just,
yeah, we should hopefully hear, I would hope I'm hoping, beginning of like next year.
right,
I'm hoping.
so.
They
That
just
would
put
be
in a
awesome.
big grant.
That would be awesome.
And also, I didn't talk to economic development, but that's also where we could potentially even put a fence down. I'm not talking like a wire fence. I'm talking like where you see in Florida where they're like,
They need a
privacy
border
fence.
there. When we planted the mums that day, my ears were so bad for the rest of the, no, seriously, they were ringing. I can't believe people live in back there at that location and that's their back of their houses. And the noise is just overwhelming
So the
there.
fence could
Kids,
serve several purposes.
it's not even a fence. You need a buffer,
Like a
like a,
privacy,
like a
Like what they-
beautiful buffer.
like what they have in Florida. Like when you're down in
Exactly.
Florida, they have all these communities and they have these like cement
Yeah.
fencing.
Stone face it or something,
Right.
Yeah.
but just.
And it's tall enough, keeps the noise out. I mean,
It's horrible
but it
how
looks
loud that
beautiful.
is. Horrible for those people that live there, how loud that is.
But that's
And it would be a
And
beautification.
who would
That
pay
might
for that?
also go in with
Well,
the
the
grant,
grant.
the state
along,
grant. So,
along Fort Hill Road.
Oh,
Good one.
and like, cause yeah, New London got it last year. We're applying for it the first time this year, but New London got millions and millions of dollars. So I think we're looking at like $11 million, something like that we're asking for. So,
Okay.
and we're a distressed community, so it gives us a leg up on it.
That was their
That would be
concentration in
wonderful.
that location.
That was, yeah.
These trees,
What you got,
I think
Bruce?
trees are great.
why,
but I-
well, why don't we pick an area and concentrate on it, like Nancy's talking about, that Paquonic River area? It's a golden job for us to do that.
Right, well, remember, this is just, everybody's supposed to bring a suggestion, that's all, I mean, that's not like we're all gonna do all of these, but, so that's a wonderful
That's
suggestion.
something that we can deal with right away, though. We can work
Yes,
with. Parks and
exactly.
It's
Rec
sort
on
of
that.
like figure out all these areas, like these are what we're taking care, what we have now. Who's taking care of them? Whose ownership? Police station was J.C. Ambrose. Indian Field is me. Like who's taking, like, come up with your list. And they're like, let's start assigning, like, who's taking care of it? Who wants to take care of that area?
Yeah.
Who wants ownership? Because I don't want to get in touch with a group to say, are you guys available on a Wednesday at 6 o'clock? Because that's my availability. No, I have the ownership. You know what I mean? So I go there when it's convenient for me. So JC said he was gonna do it. So, and then
I do town hall and the community center.
Mystic Planner is, the Mystic Planner area is a garden club.
the
and that's a
library.
garden community center.
I'm sorry, what you
The
said?
old town hall and the community.
And par 4, excuse me,
All right.
and 17 other places
All right, let's
probably.
go.
No, that's Shirley. Shirley does a lot for the town. And the town hall looks better than it's looked.
So what's this go, what? I'm sorry, say it again.
Oh, well, I mean, some of, yeah.
Shirley has, right?
Yeah, Shirley. That's M. And, she does, yeah, par 4 too. Town Hall Annex has been, me and Sharon and Aline, Messy's help.
Which is okay too.
go work on that.
Yeah, Aline does Sutton Park.
Same with top of Fort Hill, it's been just a group that just
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah, it's been.
I mean, I'll take over that if you want. My
Wanna
only
take
problem
ownership
is
of
I'm not here till May, so somebody else has to help before. I
But,
get
but
home.
Jim's gonna help and I will help. I live
That's
out there
it.
too.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad to be
Well,
owner
the
of.
thing is, if it's like, all right, well, let's just say you're top of Fort Hill. And then over the winter, everybody's got their own area and we're like,
Yeah.
this year we're gonna do blue. Everybody pick out your blue flowers you want. You get to pick out whatever blue flowers you want, put your budget together, submit it. And then you're the one who doesn't have to do all the work for it, right? Because all of us are worried about this area and submitting it, and then she can compile it and do the ordering.
I'm just talking about weeding. I mean, I
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
needs to be
yeah,
done before I
yeah,
get home,
yeah.
so it.
But you're
Yeah.
also planning for it, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
throughout.
Yeah.
That's,
The interesting thing about that idea is that people, I'm a plant person, yet people need to plant appropriate plants in the appropriate areas. So that's the only thing, my own concern, because not everybody here knows about plants.
right.
You put sunny plants in sunny areas, you mostly want perennials, you put some annuals possibly. You want to get as many natives as you can. I mean, those kind of things, but I guess. low
When all of you
maintenance-
garden plant people are very forthcoming with suggestions, when I come and say, I don't know what I'm putting there, can I put this there? And you're like, yeah, no. So trust me, at this group, you guys
All right, all
are a
right.
wealth of information to help.
I have a question for Shirley or for the group about the par 4 property. Did you take that on because the town owns the golf course, even though that area is in the city? And are,
The town owns the property.
right,
We were approached by Mark Berry because they had no money. They ran out of money and asked us to do it.
Yeah.
but is that the only time this committee works in the city?
Is that the city?
Owned by the town, but it's owned by the city.
Um,
We have done cleanups in conjunction with the
Yeah.
city and
Yeah.
the city, what's her name? She's come to, in the beginning, she used to come to our meetings all the time when we were working on a lot of this.
Wendy
But they're
Berry?
trying,
But
no,
Um,
they're economic development lady.
I don't know.
She is working on her Sierra. She used to come to a lot of our meetings, but Sierra's trying to do some stuff over in the city themselves. Like they're trying to get a park over down by Thames Street and they've got some paint stuff on the crosswalk things. And
Uh-huh.
they're
Yeah.
doing things that we've, as a group, have discussed, and she was here with us, and she's trying to bring it to the city as well. So we would work in conjunction with them, but we don't want to overstep either. You see what I'm saying?
I didn't know
Yeah.
that Sierra was involved that way.
Yep, she used to come to our meetings all the time. Yeah, so I think she's trying to bring a lot of what we used to discuss over there. So. Anybody else got?
I had
So you're
none.
taking Fort Hill, is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, as long
Okay.
as somebody can help me in the spring.
Yeah, I've got
You know.
top of Fort Hill, Sharon and Cindy.
Yeah, that's.
But we always put stuff out, and so Aline will come and Jim will come.
Yeah,
So,
Same thing with the annex. I mean, you know,
yeah, we just
Cindy will
went,
call and
yeah,
say, hey, what are you doing today? And I said, sure, fine, I'll come
yeah,
up. and
these
help."
two both have trucks.
Right.
And he,
Oh,
look at the 3 white trucks right here, you know,
This way, like if you take it on, you're gonna be like over the winter, like I'll plan what I'm gonna do or what I'm gonna put in. You know, and
I'm not good at planning plants, so I'm.
you're good at digging holes.
I
but
can
you're
do it.
also like, you could do like reaching out to them and they could plan it for you but you're responsible for all the weeding or,
Taking the weeds away. and you-
yeah.
Yeah, right,
I
right,
know something.
So.
right.
I had one other suggestion.
Okay.
There is somebody with a planter downtown. Who has the planter? Craig Mellon?
Craig and Carol, Mellon, Melin. Carol and Craig Mellon they take care of the fountain planter and the Water Street public bathroom. Craig and Carol Mellon, Melin. And so they've taken on, the Water Street public bathroom, the fountain planter, and myself and Kim Singer have taken over the John Kelly.
Okay.
But I have consulted with somebody about doing all 3 of those things.
Okay.
If we could get a little grant from Groton or something like that,
Okay.
which would be nice.
And who has the restrooms?
The Mystic restroom, that's Carol and Craig.
Okay, the Mellon.
Yeah, Melons. And then Kim Singer and I have John Kelly's back. Yeah. And
Town Hall Annex, who's
I do that, Aline does that, Sharon does that.
takes ownership of it? Who wants to take like,
Oh, I guess I do.
I'll be your worker bee.
We'll help you with that.
And then
Planners.
Avery Memorial, Aline had been looking at, I've looked at it and all our plants we planted survived. But it just needs to be kind of picked. I don't know, but I mean, I really think it needs to be mowed once a year and they didn't, the inland wetlands, I need to approach them again because they were not happy with that. But really, it just needs to be mowed. And then we went a couple times last year and picked up trash, but I haven't gone at all this year.
okay, so somebody needs to,
So, yeah.
and then is there any other places we want to add on here?
I kind of had an idea. I don't know how it'll fly, but I'd like to see more container gardening throughout maybe the Route 1 area. In front of some of the businesses and down in Quonic and everything. And I think sometimes they're a little bit more manageable than planting in the ground.
Mhm.
I was thinking like the big oak barrels or whatever
Uh-huh.
at different locations on some of those hardscapes. And maybe we could work with the businesses to ask if they'll help water them. Like the bridge, Ryan's Pub, Dairy Queen, those kind of locations, and get them as close to the road as we possibly can
Mhm.
to take away the eye from some of the other stuff on the other side.
Uh-huh.
So that's a thought. And then you can do things, even if it's annuals, you can have them look beautiful in the summer with that, stick flags in them for 4th of July and Flag Day.
Yep.
Come the fall, you can switch it out with mums and even around the holidays, put greens in it. So
Yeah.
that's just a thought. And if it doesn't work out, you can always pick them up, even though they're big, but move them maybe to somewhere else. So
Uh-huh.
this is
Uh-huh.
Same kind of barrels be on the opposite side between the sidewalk and the grassy
There's
area.
not much room there. That's the problem, right?
But we're on,
Opposite Ryan's.
I don't think there's much
Um,
room over
yeah,
there.
there's-
Between the neighbor, the
Bridge
street,
market.
the
Yeah.
grass, the sidewalk, the neighbor.
Across the street. There's
Yeah.
just-
But I just thought anywhere we could find,
need to be really close because otherwise the business owner probably wouldn't
yeah,
water it. I mean,
Yeah.
because it has to be close and.
right. Well, that's what I thought. I mean, if you look down there, like even in front of Ryan's, there's just all this blacktop
Yes.
there with like
Yes.
stripes on it and stuff.
Yeah.
And, and of a Dairy Queen around their sign, it's
Yeah.
it's just grass. Somebody's
Yeah.
mowing it, but if you could just have
Yep.
just something to bring some color and to draw the eye to that's
Yeah.
just a suggestion. But
Okay.
watering, as you said, is always a problem.
Yeah, but if you can take, like right now, we have 2 pots of fall plantings, one here and one at the at the regular town hall. And I have somebody at the town hall who's watering that, and it looks beautiful. I would visit it today. Then this one right outside the front door, there's someone here who's watering it and keeping an eye on it. So that has worked well, just as long as it's not overwhelming. So would that be something we would plant it and bring it there?
Well,
Would you say?
I would think we'd have to ask, like, go to Karen at, the bridge or whatever and say, hey, we'd like to maybe plant some of these planters for you.
Mhm.
And she's a wonderful, everybody knows Karen, right? And figure out where we can plant them.
Uh-huh.
Say, we'll be glad to do the planting if we could just get you guys to help water it.
Yeah.
And then if that works out, great. And if you find out that one of the businesses is just,
Yeah,
falling down on that
everything's
job,
dried up.
then either we can do it or we can say, well, we're gonna remove it from that location. We'll
Yeah.
do it somewhere else.
I suggest you kind of like make all the planners same.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
And I got
agree
that,
on one
I
planner.
saw like what they did in New London, like in front of the train station, which is just absolutely beautiful. and There's loads of them,
Yeah. That's very nice.
And also, it looks like Stonington kind of does the same thing, wherever they can put some planters. It's easier on us. You don't have to be way down, weeding and stuff. And it's.
And the ones out here
Yeah.
are magnificent.
Oh, the planters,
Oh my gosh, I came out of the meeting one day, or I came to the meeting and I was like, oh my gosh.
Missy did a lot of that.
They were
She planted, she
gorgeous,
picked a lot of the
gorgeous.
plants to do
I loved
that.
them. I put a post on. I was
And
like.
that
"These are gorgeous."
We had just come for a meeting here and we were all outside and we're like, oh my gosh, this is horrendous. It was just weeds and disgustingness. And it was like, we can do something about that. So very quickly, I think within a month, it was planted and then it's been beautiful this year.
Yeah.
So.
So like, and then there's a strip out front that needs to get going, and maybe we can even get
That's,
people with
they,
need hours, maybe can come up.
well,
with that
they've been,
project.
the Parks and Rec has been hired and a couple new people have been phenomenal. That's how we got the police department planted. The front here, yeah, it's messy,
Yeah,
but it's
'cause
that,
with the
it's that
two
bad.
islands And the
Yeah,
plant-
yeah. Looks great.
Beautiful,
Yeah, exactly.
beautiful.
Yeah. So that I think is, I don't want to give too much. I don't want to, I'm constantly with Parks and Rec. Hey, could you do this? Hey, could you do that? It's like, okay.
Nice.
All right.
There is a sign, a new sign in front of the Fitch Middle School, the old Fitch Middle School.
Yeah, the community center.
Community center. We have plantings around all the other signs in town. Should we consider doing something?
I actually consulted with plant,
And
landscaper extraordinaire because I talked with Mark and Mark said it would be wonderful if you could do, wait, what is this? Is this the community center front door? Okay, which I looked at today, which looks phenomenal, but we're gonna want to do a little, okay.
And on top of that sign being there, the welcome to Groton, as soon as you get off the highway one,
Right.
it's just grass underneath there, and it would be
Right.
lovely if we had
Mhm.
something going on underneath it.
Daffodil.
Whatever,
That's right.
It's Nancy's idea.
whatever, but it would be nice.
Social Services has a new sign too.
Yeah, see, I find this a little scary. I mean, like on our Route 1 corridor, like this sign is right near here, and everything. When that whole idea of being on 117 and then I start to say, okay, we need more volunteers.
Mhm.
We don't,
We just did a
I
rain
think-
garden in front of social services.
I was gonna say, they have a
That-
rain garden there.
that's been there for quite a while. And they just,
Progressive Tech one.
yeah,
That was Grasso Tech students working on that,
Gardner
and
helped
that
with
might
one,
be
yeah.
another connection.
no, actually, Grosso Tech originally do it. This was the pollinator pathway group that redid it because it had, yeah, so they had all met and fixed it up, got the weeds out and the invasives out. This is awesome.
Any of our new people want to join and take ownership of a place? Do you have any places you want to do?
Well, we're like seeing, we're city people.
That's okay. We still love you.
Give you a pass, you can come and tell.
But, and we're town people too, since that's our.
You
nature.
are. You
Right.
are.
But we would, I mean, we're like thinking of the welcome to Groton sign as you come off 95.
In the city.
In the
Yeah.
city.
Doesn't look that good.
It doesn't look good.
Usually have Pfizer people come down and do that area, don't they? In the spring?
No,
who takes ownership.
I've
for
seen
that.
pictures of the Pfizer people coming annually to that area.
Well,
But so annually is not enough, right? Right.
yeah, but also maybe, I don't know who has the vision, I think Shirley
Yes.
has. vision.
She's a landscape designer, so she has very good, I mean, this is very professional.
Marvelous there on the
Yes,
paper.
yeah. Well, but she also realizes it has to be low maintenance. But if you guys, so maybe you talk with Sierra first and then what's Sierra's last name?
We'll put it up on zero.
Yeah. She's probably the only one. And then,
Not like it's.
and then let us, then, you know, if, because certainly if we want to adopt some areas, I mean, I think Welcome to Groton sign needs to look lovely.
No matter which part. of
No
it.
matter where you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And the sign is already there.
right. So,
And let me tell you,
Is
if
that
you're
in
gonna
the
like
sign?
take ownership of like trying to maintain it, they are gonna be delighted.
yes.
But
That's
then
what we
again,
have
but then
found.
again, let me just say, the city workers are also union. So that's also another issue, like at Washington Park. I know that you can't do certain things at Washington Park, the union has to do it, because you can't even volunteer to help. You know, you can't do those kind of
Does the
things.
town have that situation?
No,
Oh, good.
where ours is different.
From
There are issues there, so you gotta sort of see what's what there.
It's not like that. Well, we're friendly with those people.
Yeah, but even with a union, it doesn't matter. Like, you can't even line the baseball field at Washington Park. They have to do it because they're
Yeah,
union.
but I meant we could.
Yeah,
Yeah, talk to them.
Yeah, yeah.
We're on committee.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, wait,
No.
oh, yeah, Jennifer and Bernadette can do it. Sure.
Yeah,
It just came into my head though, I can't think of a beautiful spot on Route 12.
yeah.
So that, I know you wanted to limit this project, but 9 miles. of Route 12 is-
We are, for the past 2 years, it's been from the Avery Memorial up to the top of Fort Hill and then down to the annex. We not, like, just at the annex. So the, Leanne Obrey, who's also on the committee, would really like us to focus more on Groton. It's just so big.
It is
It's
big.
really big.
Expensive.
And,
I do have an area. And I know we probably could get a lot of help on this one, is Crystal Lake Road. They've done a lot of improvements down that way and, right to the sub base, that road, it's now the submarine capital. Avenue, you know,
On the river?
not along the river, it's the road going from Route 12 to this.
The Nautilus.
To the Nautilus Museum.
Main gate.
So there, it has been brought up on numerous occasions of beautification on that road. And I'm sure because a lot of the sailors have to do community service, that we could get the workers there, because I'm sure they would love to have their road and that pride right there. I mean, so mine is going to be Crystal Lake Road. Route 12 to the sub base or to the Nautilus.
okay, so what kind of things though?
But that's a beautification project. It has to be looked at, it just has to be
Okay.
like figured out at some point. And
So you don't have a vision
I
yet?
don't have a vision yet, but it has been brought to my attention by numerous people.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people,
Mhm.
because we just gave it a honorary name
Mhm.
and they just had a big to do because they brought the Nautilus back. I
Mhm.
mean, so,
Yep, and we are a military community.
and I will say 117, because we're gonna get that US sale there
Yep.
at the library.
Yep.
I mean, just to get that whole area just looking good, because I think it's going to be a focal point in our community where people are
I
gonna come
agree.
to that memorial.
I
I
agree.
think they really are.
I agree, absolutely, I
So-
agree. I mean, you can't believe how many people come to the John Kelly statue in downtown Mystic, and
know.
that's, you know, that's more of a local hero situation. All right, and so the town, so this does bring up questions. So we have some funds. And would we I guess we just vote on if we were gonna spend some funds on a city project, right? Or would we need to vote on that?
Usually to spend money, you should be voting on it.
But we've been doing like, you know, like I spent $100 or $200 this past month on asters and chrysanthemums.
Right, so you should do a treasury report to show what's been spent, and
Yep.
then everybody votes to approve the treasury report, meaning like you
Okay.
all know about it and you're
All right.
approving it, and you're,
Okay.
there's nobody like.
Yeah.
You don't want to be spending money and then the rest of your committee is like, hey,
Right, Right. We've
We're
been,
not voting
I
on that.
just started
Yeah,
telling, because we had to figure out how much we had in the budget, but we haven't been voting on
right. You should be doing a treasury report, like sort of at the GTC. where they're
Okay.
like, we started
Yeah,
this
yeah,
month,
yeah,
we spent
yeah.
this On this and this.
Yes,
and then
exactly.
the balance.
it. So should that be like a whole separate report on my thing, on my? Okay,
You know, you might want to make it an agenda.
yeah, okay. Okay. All right, any other things that, I have one other, this is kind of an easier one, right across from where you live. In going into Mystic, you said something about the neighbors asked for that sidewalk there?
No,
Or-
it's through a town regulation. If a house goes in Groton, it has to have a sidewalk.
Okay,
And so that's why I said, coming up, going to Mystic from McGuire Brook up, there was 2 lots that went in, and really the houses are back in the woods, but behind
okay,
the stone wall is a blacktop
Yeah.
sidewalk.
yeah,
And somebody went, I don't know if it was town, state, or whatever, but they really cut back. And it looks nice now, because one of the neighbors started to, but like he is out there for 3 hours and did a small patch, and all of a sudden I went the next week and the whole strip was done.
I don't know what you're talking about.
we're talking about when you're going, Route 1, going up the
Mystic
hill,
Up the hill,
before,
but before the hill, from
no,
Avenue?
like, from
High Meadow Lane.
right across from
opposite-
High Meadow Lane,
Which is just up from Judson.
yeah, just
Yeah.
up from
Up the
Judson.
hill.
Yeah, on the right. It's almost like they put these posts up that they were gonna put a fence in
Those
and,
posts have been there, but
know.
whoever came through cleaned up that area.
Yeah.
And they took away a lot of the clippings, but we can't find out who did it.
yeah.
Because I
There's a
live in a
lot of
neighborhood
poison
just-
ivy. I've walked my dog there and there's a lot of poison ivy like coming at you. So anyways, I thought of you and I thought that area always bugs me. That's really just a cleanup.
Plus,
But it's gotten better.
plus there, it was, I was going to say, there is a entering historical Mystica,
Yes.
an old metal sign.
Yes.
So I was going to say, if you plop some, I'll take some of the bulbs and plant them
Okay.
around the 2
That's fine.
legs of
Just
that.
Be very aware and look for poison ivy. All right, so we won't even talk about that. All right, so I think that's a good, anybody else? Shirley?
There is
Oh.
a little area across from the spot. Buddington Road, I think is the road across
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
to 1. And on the left, going down Route 1, after Buddington, there is a little piece of land with a pole, there is an electrical box there, and it's grass, basically. I think it calls for a few daffodils.
Oh.
So. Maybe 5 or 7.
I have a hard time envisioning it, but who owns the property?
I don't know, that's the thing, I don't know if we can do anything there.
So is it between the road and the sidewalk?
Between the road and the sidewalk, there's
Yeah,
this little piece, it looks like an eyebrow.
Is that rain? I heard possible heavy rain. I hope everybody closed their window.
Yes.
There's, I think it's right by what used to be the massage place, I think. they
Yeah,
own-
just before that.
Yeah, it's-
Before that, then
It's it goes up between the massage place and Bunnington Road. It goes up kind of like, there's a big rock formation.
It's early.
All right, so just to let you know, that property right there, they're gonna be like doing all kinds of construction at that.
well, I'm not talking about that part down below, just at the intersection, right
Just
at the
Bunnington
intersection.
Road side.
On the spot side or the Regency side?
Not, neither on the emergency,
The
nor on
other
the spot,
corner.
just on the other side.
So if you're at the light and the spots on your right and you're sitting at the light.
No, if you're on one, spot is on your left, Buddington Road.
Oh, all right, then you're driving this way.
Yeah,
I'm going that
Okay,
way.
well,
So if you're driving, because I'm, all right, so you're going this way and the spot's over there. You're at the light and the spot's on the opposite side on the right. Right, all right? Get in my car.
Not
So
on the board, but you just pick a little, would you?
All right.
Please?
important.
I know, right, exactly. Here's the spot.
I think wherever we can put daffodils is great, even if you just go along the road.
So then you're talking like right around here somewhere?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's right there on Bunnington Road. It looks kind of shabby.
Yes.
Talking right around here.
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
around that area.
You do have to be aware if people, if there are contractors who have to cut the grass, they are not gonna let those daffodils complete their life cycle. So
Okay.
you're really gonna have a defeated daffodil.
Right.
Don't realize
Yeah.
that. So putting them in turf grass is not the best
Yeah.
idea.
Mhm.
Already.
Right, we put them up at the submarine sign because we know.
Yeah,
it takes
nobody's
them
gonna
forever to
mess
mow
with
the grass.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Ryan down in, on 215, the state comes through once a year and mows, that's
You
it.
know how that goes, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
Do we have any other spots? Anything else?
The only thing that I was thinking about, but this is bringing the state in, which we all know is a challenge, is actually right up here, the corner of Fort Hill, and Route 1, the islands. The center islands, and I had discussed that with Megan, our new resiliency person, and I thought, because somebody had said, you just gotta take out everything. It's so many weeds, it's a mess. And I thought, somebody sent me a picture, I don't know if it was you, Missy, of someplace where it had, like, could we put those porous bricks on some of it? 'Cause I don't want to blacktop it, and the state DOT just would soon blacktop it. I don't want to blacktop it, but could we do the porous something and then have something in the middle of it, like a la, where was that, Madison or something, Glastonbury? And obviously you have to work for sightlines and everything, but there's such a large island. Yeah, there's two of them, and you wouldn't have to put any kind of planting right in the sight line. Anyways.
I don't mind the junipers there, but then the other stuff that comes up, I go, oh, I don't even know if that's weed or
No,
flower, but
it's
I don't know.
all weeds, and I thought too, it's like, well, we should just
But they
leave the
still have, like, a
junipers there.
Flowery look to them.
Yeah, but they're,
Yes.
yeah, I know, but trying to weed there is just impossible, like,
Dangerous.
and so they come through and they just cut down all the weeds, but nobody actually weeds. So I guess I just find it to be really messy. But, so I don't know what the answer is, but I don't want to blacktop it.
You
That
just flocks it all up
locks it up. Locks it up.
Yuccas would be a good choice.
for grass.
Yeah,
low
you,
grass.
but they want it really low, right?
What about those low grass things?
No, but once again, we still have to do something, and the state, anyways.
Well, Mark said, if you're gonna work in that area, they have to get the police
Yeah, they gotta
Yes.
shut, they gotta.
to,
Yes, they do,
control the traffic
Right.
because it's so dangerous.
right? But now we've ingratiated ourselves to the police since we planted a nice flower garden in front of the. Maybe we could get an hour of their help. I don't know. Anyways, that was.
You all get pulled over, you're like, I'm on the beautification.
That's right, that's right. Anyways, so I think that should be good.
Can I
We're-
ask one more thing?
Yes,
If the top hog wire basket project
uh-huh,
evolves, I think the city could use at least two.
uh-huh.
We have our NIP situations too, and that money came to the community,
Groton.
right? It didn't come to.
It was Groton, just Groton. They didn't distinguish between the city or the town. And that's what we were talking about at one point, like, because I don't know how expensive they're gonna be.
Yeah,
just don't
we
know.
don't have, we don't
So
have
even
that.
if we got 3 total, because I don't know how, he's making them smaller than what the original picture was. And I said, even if we put like Esker Point, Eastern Point, and Bluff Point, it's like you're hitting some of the beaches, and then even depending on if you have to have a pad and they're stationary, or can we move them? It all depends on how he's making them. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we could move them around town too, or,
Well, if they're too movable, somebody will.
I know, there's,
true.
How do they get in?
He's gonna make it so that the back lifts up and the mouth will open and all the stuff will fall into like a garbage bucket or something.
Yeah.
But they're
Yeah.
cool looking. I'll show you a picture of them.
Yeah.
I think I've seen something similar at other people's beaches for the same purpose.
Yeah,
So I'd love
Rachel's
to-
got a really nice picture, but this will be a slightly different because the weather one was
It'll be
more.
a Groton version.
Yeah, Groton version. All right, guys. Well, we need to move,
All right,
keep
so-
going. Can we take a picture of this,
I'll take
everybody?
a picture and I think, Bruce, did you want to take the Avery Memorial Neighborhood? Because that's your thing. That was your spot. You love that spot.
He wants a sculpture there. I don't think he
No.
wants to do the gardening part.
I'm not really good with that kind of stuff. Plants are not my thing. I'll do the artwork.
Let's work
Um,
on a gazebo. Bruce.
Yeah, yeah.
Gazebo together.
You'll support that, right?
Yeah.
I can't wait to get. my
Yeah,
proposals in.
I've been
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
trying to get that going.
Mystic yesterday,
Yeah,
that's their recycling cans. Is that town or a chamber? Do you have any
that's
idea?
town. That's
That's
town
town.
that, yeah, that's Public Works.
Yeah, like that's it.
They don't actually recycle though, just to let you know. All right,
It's one of
um,
those things.
yeah, yeah. The state says you have to do it, but they can't actually separate stuff, so. All right, you guys, I want to talk about I've got to submit a 2023 meeting schedule. And I would like to propose changing, instead of the second Monday, I would like to propose that we meet the first Thursday of every month. And I need to see, I would like to make a motion to do that, and then we can discuss it. If I can get a second.
At the same time,
Can we make it sooner, earlier in the day if we have it on Thursday?
So we used to meet at 5:30. Now we've been meeting at 6:30.
6:30 is good. If we can keep the meetings to a reasonable.
We
time limit.
have been going to trying to keep it to an hour, and just recently it's been getting longer.
I like 6:30 better than 5:30.
Nancy?
Whatever.
Okay.
I'll make it work.
Yes, it's the only people who get to vote are actually members of the committee. Okay? And we like this annex,
Yes.
meeting at the annex, okay? So, I move that we move for 2023, we meet on the first Thursday of the month at 6:30 PM at the annex. Can I get a second?
Beginning when?
2023.
I'll second it.
Well, that's the second part of this. Let's first talk about that. So it's been moved and seconded to change it to the first Thursday at the annex at 6:30. Now we need to have discussion. We had talked about having maybe not having a couple of meetings, and the first one I was thinking of was January. I don't know if we need to meet in January, and I don't know if I was thinking January, February. Missy very astutely said, do you really want to not meet? Maybe you should spread it out. Maybe we should not meet in July, because July's people are vacationing. It's not a time you're going to plant things, but then again, there's a lot of planting you can do. So I'd like to know how people feel about not meeting every month. And if you don't want to meet every month, what month would you exclude? Ideas? Anyone? Rachel Franco.
When are you gonna place your order for your plants come for spring planting? And when do you want people to have their order, like what they want, their request to you in by?
You can't even start planting till May.
Right, but you have to order them and have them all ready. You have to order ahead of time.
Right,
for them,
right,
All that stuff, so everybody's gotta plan it.
right.
You see what I'm saying? Like.
Yep.
when-
Yeah, so you could order it in March. I mean, yeah, it's, they can't, they can't,
You have to
They
have all
don't-
your receipts to the town by July 1st, right?
June 1st, June 1st, yeah. Learn that the hard way.
So we don't wanna like, just really, you wanna order ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, we need to order by March, probably.
Yeah, you don't wanna order in May.
No, we won't be ordering in May. No.
That
No,
doesn't have to be
you-
done at a meeting either.
Right,
That's,
right.
You know,
You
we
have to
can-
approve the funds.
well, that could be done even
Yeah,
after.
yeah. April, it could be approved.
The town calendar, does it go from?
Well, so I have to submit a meeting schedule for the entire year, starting in January through December. Absolutely. Yes. So I don't know what the town does, but yeah, okay, right. So
So I don't think we need to meet in January.
okay,
My suggestion is that we eliminate January.
okay.
August, Esker Point has those concerts. So that would be another month, maybe you consider not meeting. Traffic will be bad.
The concerts, they're in the evening here.
Yeah, they're Thursday.
Thursday
They are
nights.
Thursday. They are Thursday. They're-
Well, our meetings.
Our meetings are Thursday and they actually go through, yeah, but it's, yeah, probably, anyways,
Thursday nights, and yeah, they start around
Yeah.
6.
they do.
Traffic will be really bad.
Unless we could arrange for rain.
Right. So, all right,
So we have 11 meetings for
Yep.
2023, starting February.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Unless we eliminate another month.
You can have the summer meeting.
I don't think the traffic's up here. Well, I guess there's Fitch over there, but it's bad up here on Thursday?
It's not bad.
Oh,
It's a-
yeah. I have going less and less. I feel so old when I go. Oh my gosh. Anyways,
You can set your calendar and you can always have
Yeah.
a special meeting.
yes, we can have a special meeting, right?
You can say, let's have it Wednesday this month instead.
We wanna just remove January, so make it to 11 meetings.
Correct. Yes,
All right,
let's do that.
so you want to make the motion
I
to,
move that our calendar reflects our monthly meetings for 2023, February through December.
nicely said, Nancy.
The Thursday
On
night
the
at
first
6:30.
Thursday of the month at 6:30,
Thank
and
you.
this.
Yes.
Done it.
Okay, all right. It has been moved. Did anyone second? Second, okay. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? All right, let's vote on the motion on the floor, which is the
Yeah.
first Thursday of the month, 11 months out of the year at 6:30 PM at the Town Hall Annex. All in favor?
Aye.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Motion passes, and I will be sending you out the meeting schedule, tentative meeting schedule. I do want to bring up that the next meeting, November 14th, 2022, I will not be present. I will be out of the state. Would somebody else, we can either cancel the meeting, we could postpone the meeting for the following week, or we could have somebody else be chair and run the meeting.
This is a Monday and the 14th. Is
It's
it the 14th?
it's the 14th. It's Monday, the 14th. I would be back for the 21st or we can cancel. I mean,
I won't be available for anything. in the
Uh-huh.
15th, So.
I won't be available on the 14th either. My birthday.
you don't want to go to a beautification meeting on your birthday?
That
That's the
surprise
only
party
excuse
for
I
you,
would
too.
use.
Okay, well, so we could either do it the 21st or we can just cancel it for next month. I know Sharon's gone.
EDC meets at 5:30 the first Thursday.
EDC, that's the economic development here.
That might be fun. Catch that and come in here. Sounds
We
good.
used to do 5:30.
Yeah, what time is their meeting? Did he say that?
EDC is at 5:30, so yours would be at 6:30.
Are they
Yeah, but
using
we
this
still-
room now?
No, they use the bigger room.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right, all right. Yeah, I meant to look at all the other things, but I was very selfish and thought, I don't have any other commitments, and I figured you guys would tell me what you had. All right, okay, so what are we talking about November meeting? Either cancel it or have it on the 21st if this room is
Well,
available.
who can make it? Maybe that's the question. Who can-
21st is good.
Well, I mean, but it also comes down to what, we can, they say, oh, if you don't have anything to talk about, I can always find something to talk about, people. But, so, why are you laughing, Bernadette? So, or do we just say it's, 3 days before Thanksgiving and,
Just
skip it? Or you
too
still,
many things turning on.
too many things turning on?
November, just-
It's Thanksgiving Monday, by the way.
It is Thanksgiving Monday.
Let's skip it.
Yeah.
Bruce, let's all celebrate, anybody who's here celebrate with Bruce on the 14th. All right, so we're in agreement that we will cancel the November 14th meeting. And if anybody has anything that's really important, please email us. All right, I hope this is recorded well because I have not been taking good notes. All right. Budget. So this is my, this is the report, the financial report. There $269.69 were spent since the last meeting on mostly mums and other type of fall plants. So so that means what we have currently in our budget is $6,386.57. And we haven't added what, so I think we're in pretty good shape.
I have 2 receipts from the year for the spring annuals for Southern Park and the fall annual. I think it comes to $57.
Okay, do you have, I do have your address, because can I have them send a check right to you? Okay. Yes, look at that. Excellent. So that will be on my next expense report in December, I guess. Okay.
Are we gonna replace that tree by the sign that's dead?
Yes, I took a picture of it. All I have to do is take the picture up to Holdridge's. I may do that. I may even be doing that tomorrow. I just don't know if I can get that thing in my car. The tree, the replacement tree. All you have to do is.
What kind of tree is it?
It's one of the arborvitaes that we planted with Tabitha at the beginning of the year. Not the beginning of the year, in June when we planted around the sign. So that does.
Guaranteed
Warranty
warranty.
my truck. Just let me know what day.
Okay. Don't you leave on, did you say you leave the 22nd?
Second thing, yes.
Yes. Too sad.
But
Not sad for you, not sad for you.
during the week, if you want to pick it up.
Okay, all right, okay, thank you. Everybody's very generous with their trucks here. All right, it is 8:19. Anybody else have any unfinished business or anything they need to talk about? Sorry, it went so long, everybody. Thank you so much, Rachel Franco.
Car, though.
Let's,
Follow me to the car.
oh, right. We all need to get bulbs from,
I still have 10 in my car, so.
actually, I need a motion to adjourn.
Move it.
Okay, can I get a second? Okay, okay. Thank you all very much. We are adjourned and I hope I see all of you before Thanksgiving.
I'll see you on Zoom in December.
So you just text me. It have to, earlier in the week.
Yeah, no. I was actually thinking I could maybe do it tomorrow, but I know I'm supposed to take a walk with a friend. And so I'll have to see
All right.
if what our schedule is. So, yes, please. Thank you very much. I'm gonna.
So you're leaving for the winter?
I am.